Here are some suggestions for setting up Zoom when you're teaching during a live lesson. I would suggest that you get all your tabs open and things that you're going to use for the live lesson, as well as you have to set up your polls. Once you start the meeting, it is a nice little package when you open the participants in the chat when you're not sharing something. What changes is when you share your screen. If you're using PowerPoint, then you have to change the settings. And what I did last semester is I went to Slideshow and set up show. And this is the default. So presented by a speaker view. And what happens is when you share your screen in Zoom, it goes to full screen. It doesn't fit nicely to a window, so I can show you that. And I'll just choose desktop. So if I go to play from current slide, it goes to a full screen and you can't see the chat doesn't sort of nestle in nicely where it will also cover up your PowerPoint. So what I would suggest is setting up your slideshow where it's in an individual window, and then you can resize that window before you start your Zoom class. So when I hit play from current slide, it goes to a resizable window. So it's just easier for you as the user to resize the windows before you start. And then you can just share a portion of your screen. So when I go to share, I would choose advanced and portion of my screen. And then I just resize this portion of it. I would also have clicked manage participants and just thrown it over here. The students can't see this at this point, so you can make it as big as or small as you want. You might not even need that, but it's nice to know who's in your class. Choose more, enable chat. And again, you can organize your window from there. So it looks a little bit more similar to Adobe. You can also hide this. And until you hit escape, those meeting controls won't come up. As well as shortcuts are your friend here. With a Mac, I use Command Tab to go back and forth between the apps that I want. So for example, let's say I'm going to play Kahoot with my classes, but then I want to go back to my PowerPoint. You can just toggle between that instead of worrying about clicking and pointing. I also tended to just pause my share, because if you stop the share, then it will reorient all your windows that you had nicely set up at the beginning of class. So I'll show you what happens there. So once I click share again, it's as if I had never set it up. So pause helps you in that case. Then you don't have to reset up your participants or your chat pod. I just want to add that I actually use two screens because I prefer the real estate. And there are a few settings that can be found in the Zoom app different than what are on the website. I'm not sure why they do that. So when I'm in the Zoom app, I'll just click on zoom.us and go to preferences. And then it shows the different options. So in general, I have used dual monitors, and then that enables me to share my screen on one screen. And I have it set up with my chat pod, participants pod, and then if people go on video on another screen, and it allows me to see the checkerboard option, which I like. I also take off enter full screen when starting or joining a meeting because that's just a personal preference that I sort of find annoying. And same thing, enter full screen when a participant shares their screen. I had a guest speaker last semester and I couldn't understand why I kept going in a full screen when she was sharing her screen. So there are additional settings you can check out. I'm not going to click on the video, but you can test your audio and video. And if you wanted to get back to the advanced features, that's here, and you would just click on that and it opens up the settings are that she sort of went over in the orientation. So these are just a few suggestions. When people start using Zoom, let me know what you're doing with a single screen to set up your real estate, and it can go on a video. And this video can be improved.